Hello and welcome. Good evening and welcome. Rap 43, you're very welcome. Kernan Curry, hello. Lars from Denmark, hello. A number of people there whose names I couldn't read, I'm afraid they came so quickly. M.H. McLean, Mary Beth M2, Steve Grand, Nerpsy, hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Miss Quick from Rodez in France, southwest of France. You're very welcome. You're all very welcome. And Tall Bottle, Josephine, good evening. Well, good evening from Ireland. And hello. Hello, there are quite a few people here who I have never met before. So I just want to welcome you all. And I want to welcome the people who are watching this on replay. And I want to welcome the people who are watching this on the web, who can't say a single thing. And, Mark from Tennessee, wonderful. Cheryl, 66, STL. It would be lovely to know where you're all from. Tennessee, France. Where else are people from? Zona, St. Louis, great stuff. Germany, Denmark. Where in Germany, Nerpsy? Whereabouts? Germany's a big country. Whereabouts? Denmark's a small country, but Germany's a big country. Yes, Rodez in France, yes. Grandma for Emily, hello, and thank you for sharing it on Twitter, thank you. Native Graffiti, hello, welcome. This is evening time on a very wet evening in Ireland. Well, a very wet evening. Oh, Frankfurt, right, 100 kilometers from Frankfurt, right. Sue Wilsanders, hello. Oh, Wexford in Ireland, that really is the southeast. That's right down there in the southeast. And that's Siobhan, who looks to me as if, Siobhan, you're getting started on Periscope, and you're very welcome here, very welcome. Wexford is the southeast of Ireland, guys, right down. If you were to look at the map of Ireland, you'd be on the extreme right-hand bottom of it. Driest part of Ireland, a county that's famous for strawberries. Yeah, it does have the best strawberries in Ireland come from Wexford. It has been a long day. It has. Yeah. You love the colourful pieces in the music hall. Was that only this morning? My goodness, this morning the second scope I did was in the Cork School of Music, where they have a new art exhibition. Stationary Gypsy, hello. So you're talking to, well, I'm talking to you from the south coast of Ireland. South coast of Ireland, not far from the sea, a city of 130,000 people, and oh yes, of course, yeah, I have certainly been to Temple Bar. Yes, Temple Bar would be very central in Dublin. Why do you ask? I'm intrigued to know why do you ask me if I've ever been to Temple Bar? Is your Twitter name? Yes, my Twitter name is the same. My Twitter name, the name I use on all of my social media is Omani Blog. Yeah, it's so you can get me anywhere. You were just emailing somebody telling them they need to follow me. Wow. My goodness, I hope I don't disappoint them when they, if they do. Audrey, hello. Audrey Lane, hello. You live stream from a World Cam. I missed the full details of that, but Wingnut is here. Wingnut is here from California, where she has a whole beach to herself, I think, nearly. Marissa sings opera. My eyes is at 1 o'clock, Paul. Oh, you know what? I should put more attention on, being more professional. Yeah, I'm hardly the most professional scoper. But, oh, pish posh. Gigi is here. Hello, Gigi. Hello and welcome. And very nice to have you here. Really nice. This is the Walt Whitman Show. And this Walt Whitman Show is one of the main thing, perhaps, on the show is that I read you from a big work by an American poet, Walt Whitman. He's a 19th century poet. He is, in my opinion, you sang a little last night, right? Follow Marissa Dunlap in order to hear her singing. Absolutely. We'll come back to that. But just to say that Walt Whitman lived from 1819 to 1892. He lived right the way through the Civil War in America, right the way through the Mexican-American War. He was born after independence, so, a good deal of time after independence. And in my view, he is the greatest of the American poets. And I think Wingnut is saying that she agrees that he is the greatest. But whatever he does, I'm intending to read, this is him. This is him late in his life. And I'm intending to read all of this book, all of this collection of poems on Periscope. So if you stick around for the next 5 years, I'll reckon might be just about getting to the end of it. He has impressive facial hair. Yes, Walt Whitman had a beard. It's possible to find early photographs of him without a beard. He certainly was photographed quite a lot. But I better give you a flavour of what this guy who I rate so highly is like as a poet. So I'm going to read part of a very long poem. The very long poem is called Song of Myself. Even the title is so different from titles that any other poet I can think of would use. Song of Myself, well, it was written in order to be published in 1855. So I sort of reckon it was written between 1850, let's say, and 1854. I used to have a beard. I had a beard for 13 years. And I never shaved it off until the day I shaved it off, and there was no more beard, and Paul will not grow a beard again. Just a little aside, I remember when I grew it in Canada, and it was really a bugger. I didn't like the experience of growing a beard and trying to get to sleep and all that kind of a thing. But anyway, that's another story. That's a different story. Yes, but this Walt Whitman show can be about lots of things. But now that journalist Anne has arrived, we certainly don't want to be turning it into a discussion about facial hair, right? No matter what you think. Anne, you've arrived, and our Torrical has arrived, thank goodness, and you've arrived in time for some poetry. Right, so we're going to have poetry, right? And after that, I don't mind what we do, but we'll begin with some poetry. So just propping my my phone up against my laptop back. So here goes. There are 52 sections of, yes, I am. I'm charging. There are 52 sections in Song of Myself, one for every week of the year. And we've got as far as section 10. Well, I'm going to read you part 10 of the 52 parts of Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. So here goes, Walt Whitman. Alone far in the wilds and mountains I hunt, wandering amazed at my own lightness and glee, in the late afternoon choosing a safe spot to pass the night, kindling a fire and broiling the fresh-killed game, falling asleep on the gathered leaves with my dog and gun by my side. The Yankee clipper is under her sky sails, she cuts the sparkle and scud. My eyes settle the land, I bend at her prow, or shout joyously from the deck. The boatmen and clam diggers arose early and stopped for me. I tucked my trouser ends in my boots and went and had a good time. You should have been with us that day around the chowder kettle. I saw the marriage of the trapper in the open air in the far west. The bride was a red girl. Her father and his friends sat near, cross-legged and dumbly smoking. They had moccasins to their feet and large, thick blankets hanging from their shoulders. On a bank lounged the trapper. He was dressed mostly in skins. His luxuriant beard and curls protected his neck. He held his bride by the hand. She had long eyelashes. Her head was bare. Her coarse, straight locks descended upon her voluptuous limbs and reached to her feet. The runaway slave came to my house and stopped outside. I heard his motions crackling the twigs of the wood pile. Through the swung half door of the kitchen, I saw him limpsy and weak, and went where he sat on a log, and led him in and assured him, and brought water and filled a tub for his sweated body and bruised feet, and gave him a room that entered from my own, and gave him some coarse, clean clothes. And remember perfectly well his revolving eyes and his awkwardness. And remember putting plasters on the galls of his neck and ankles. He stayed with me a week before he was recuperated and passed north. I had him sit next to me at table. My firelock leaned in the corner. So that is section 10 of Song of Myself by Walt Whitman, where Walt Whitman is setting out his entire store, imagine a person who hasn't really written the poem of his life, his way of experiencing, his way of seeing, his way of feeling, his way of imagining, his way of describing. Imagine a poet who hasn't yet done that. And this poem, Song of Myself,